I'm not going to lie, my weekend's been pretty mad. I spent most of it sleeping because of my work schedule and just everything caught up to me. So, I guess in that sense, it actually was a good thing that this game kicked off at a weird time on a Sunday. I mean, what was it, like an 8 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday for West Ham? Never have I ever heard of that before. But I didn't complain. I got to have an extra lion. What do I care about that? I don't. It finished West Ham United 1, Manchester United 0 at the London Stadium. David Moyes finally gets a victory against his former employer, and it's got good implication for West Ham for two reasons. Firstly, we don't have to rely on going down to the wire and going completely all the way to the last couple of games of the season just to ensure safety. Secondly, it takes us on to 37 points. Now, at the time of recording, Nottingham Forest had won and beaten Southampton. Southampton's all but down now. One more loss or one more game in which points are dropped will see them gone. Everton's won, but I'm not concerned about Everton. Leeds and Leicester are both on 30 points, and we are on 37. Let's do a little bit of quick maths here. In order for both teams to actually stay up, they would need to win all three remaining games and must not, under any circumstance, drop points because of our goal difference being better than theirs. Leicester have got Liverpool and Man City, and then us on the last day of the season. Leeds have Newcastle, us, and Spurs. It's a hard one to get out of. And we've been blessed with actually a decent amount of fixtures to end the season, because after the United game, we got Brentford and then the two mentioned teams. So mathematically, it's looking good for West Ham. 37 points. If we nail the 40-point mark, we are good. And we are definitely safe. This was a game in which Moyes got it tactically spot on. And one thing that really impressed me was his ability to make players go out of position for the greater good. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. He allowed his players to be more flexible. He allowed his players to be more direct with the ball. And it worked. The goal was somewhat fortuitous, but then again, goal's a goal. You take your shot, you score. Benrahma needed that goal as well, and I'm really happy for him for scoring it. But loads of players in that game just stepped up. Everyone really, really played for that shirt. And that's why I was so impressed. Let me get into the starting lineups as I referred to my notes. Strong team, I felt, but there was very little rotation. Thilo Kehrer filled in at the right back slot, given that Vladimir Sofal is out injured. I think Kehrer deserved to maintain his starting place. Has been playing very well recently, and in the first half against Manchester City, he looked impressive. Rice again and Souček were back in the team, and it was good to have those players back. I felt that the first half was very possession-based, in the sense that both teams withheld the ball for quite a long time. There was evidence that Marcus Rashford and Wout Weghorst were struggling a lot because Rashford was being forced to take shots from distance. They all ended up being off target. He was closed down significantly by Kehrer and Aguerd on that side of the field. But it wasn't really a half in which either team wanted to really drive forward with real authority. On the 27-minute mark, West Ham did take the lead. Benrahma was getting close down by three players and decides to take his shot. It's direct to the net. De Gea tries to punch it. Weak punch that trickles into the net. And that's when the anti-De Gea agenda started. Goldbridge was losing his mind. Andy Tate was a little more level-headed and said something to the effect of, it's not necessarily De Gea's fault because Man United still had a lot more time to get another goal and get back into it. Absolute shocker by De Gea, though, and that's why the jury's out on him so much. VAR in this game was a massive thing. because had that not intervened, West Ham would have won that very comfortably. We would have actually got about 4 goals against Man United and a few decisions in our favour. The first one, it disgusted me. Jarrod Bowen's got the ball. Malacia goes into Bowen and stamps on his leg around here. Imagine this is his leg. I'm not going to get up from the chair and show you. He stamps right there with his boot going into it. It's a leg breaker type tackle. Malacia was lucky to get a yellow and it wasn't even reviewed. But she didn't understand why not. If the boot were on the other foot, we'd be getting a player sent off. West Ham played with steady heads and a good tempo. Intercepted the ball to stop United from pushing forward. Because United pressed forward with quite big numbers. From their midfield, Casemiro trying to get forward. He was very quiet a lot of the time. Anthony trying to get him forward. Rashford, Weghorst as well. Fernandes was being forced to shoot from long distance. He couldn't even get to the channels. He had to try and strike it straight. Kura put in the shift of his life. He was having the game of his life, and he was my personal man of the match. Just before half-time, there was a freaking penalty incident, and my God, it's Harry Maguire. The ball goes onto his hand, and he's blocking it to stop it going on his chest. It's not even looked at again. So that was 2 decisions that almost shafted us in that first half. And I was saying to the lads on the West Ham chat, this is going to end one way, and we know it, don't we? And we all start to fear the worst. In the second half, Antonio scored from close range, but he was given off for a foul. Do one, will you? Like, seriously, it was not a foul. It comes across De Gea's chest, but there's no real contact there. And De Gea goes down quite dramatically. Seriously, some issues then. I had a feeling that Weghorst would get his first Premier League goal for United against us, but no, he didn't. He came off and on came Martial. The worst of the 2 evils. Martial, I don't rate the guy at all, and thank God we stayed away from him. But I liked us. We played tight defence, good attack, and were able to make the space for ourselves to run into. Paquetá, unbelievable with his skill. Even David Moyes was like, putting his arms up and celebrating that skill. Paquetá, excellent running down the middle. Benrahma got into that 10 role a lot more and was able to put that pressure on the United defence. He really, really did. This is the United defence that's lacking Martinez and Varane. Those are arguably their 2 best centre-backs this season, and those 2 getting injured has absolutely killed their defence. The only one player for United I actually think put in a good shift was Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because I think he at least tried for them. Should have been 4-0 up at this point, to be honest. Kura, he had a few things in his pocket. Let me show you what I got in the pocket. He got his keys, got his wallet, got his sunnies, he's got his AirPod case that I like to fiddle with, and holy hell, he goes even deeper into his pocket. It's hard to quite kind of find, you know, all of his money and all of his thin linings in there, because a Marcus Rashford and some random Dutch guy signed from Burnley are in there. His pockets must have been heavy. You know what I'm saying? They'd have to use a forklift truck to get him back on to a team bus, because he had those guys in his pocket and wouldn't let him out. They're staying locked up in the Curva jail. Souček and AWB clashed heads. My God, Thomas Souček's head is literally made of steel. There's got to be metal plates inside the lining of his skull or something, because the guys have been trampled on in the face, survived that. He smashed heads at Aaron Wan-Bissaka and there was blood. He just had to have his head glued and he was just alright. No concussion, nothing like that. Side Benrahma came off, on came Pablo Fornals. Fornals just was steady towards the end of the game. And it was a good time to make a substitution. We have often criticised David Moyes for not making subs early in games, but this time he made the right subs just as a time-wasting tactic, and also because he didn't really need to at that point. He didn't want to kill our momentum. 8 minutes of stoppage time, I'm thinking to myself, oh, what is going on, man? 8 minutes of stoppage time, and we are going to probably concede in this time. But we didn't. United kept the ball in our half a lot of the time from corners, couldn't get it into the net. Johnson and Downs came on for Paquetá and Antonio just late on. Emerson came on for Cresswell. Bruno Fernandes way off target. Got a foul in our end. As soon as they got that foul, kept the ball in our end. Done. The place erupted. It means we are not officially safe, but technically safe because it would take a massive series of unfortunate results and a huge goal difference swing for us now to get relegated. Maybe 1 more point's good enough. We avoided long balls, and we just kept everything close by. Short passes, and it was easy to get into United's back line that way. I was really, really pleased with that win, and it takes the pressure off the Brentford game. If we play like we did against United, against RZ, we will beat them. And I mean that. We will beat them, and we will get a good result. But I enjoyed my Sunday. I was buzzing all Sunday. I've been buzzing for the last 24 hours, in all honesty. I sound like a Mancunian the amount of time to say buzzing, but I am from the north of England. But if you're a Man United fan, there's still a lot of issues going on in your club, and you can't blame it on Ten Hag. No doubt that the Glazers get blamed. Goldbridge was going on calling West Ham like Everton. I'm like, are you mad? Do one. Just a bit salty, mate. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, give it that thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more content. Take care, everybody. I'm signing off for the night, and I'll see you all soon.